Everyone and their mother knows about the most famous superhero couples of all time, like Superman and Lois Lane or Harley Quinn and the Joker. But there are tons of other superpowered relationships that are totally hot. Whether they haven't had a chance on the big screen yet, or they've just slipped past people unnoticed, we're taking a look at some of the lesser known steamy super couples in our list of 10 hot superhero and villain relationships you didn't know about. Enjoy this video and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more awesome stuff every single day. Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne. Ant-Man briefly introduced us to the relationship between Scott and Hope, and from the looks of it, we're excited to see what comes next. That being said, their relationship starts out in a pretty awkward way, because they do meet when Scott wakes up with her watching him sleep. They then spend most of the film taking jabs at each other, until they finally share that great kiss at the end of the movie. In 2018, we'll get to see the next Ant-Man movie, called Ant-Man and the Wasp, which will feature both Scott and Hope as a superhero couple that we can only imagine will be wildly entertaining. Aquaman and Mera. The king and queen of Atlantis may have a somewhat dysfunctional relationship, but there is no denying that it is fueled by passionate love. The couple originally bonded over being outcasts to their people, despite holding positions of great power within their society, and they've always had a magnetic connection in the comics. For some reason, Aquaman has often been considered a lame and soft superhero, so we're hoping that a grittier movie is coming his way, and that it will feature some hot scenes between him and Mera. With Jason Momoa and Amber Heard lined up to play these roles, we're excited for the world to get to see Aquaman and Mera on the big screen in 2018. Spider-Man and Mary Jane. While this couple may seem very obvious to some, we will need to mention it, as we can guarantee that there are people who have only seen the Amazing Spider-Man series that pairs Peter Parker with Gwen Stacy. While that relationship was okay, it definitely doesn't measure up to the more raw and passionate couple of Spidey and Mary Jane. In the comics and in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, this couple was at the center of the action and had some pretty steamy scenes. For years, the famous upside-down alleyway kiss has been copied and referenced, and that is the sincerest form of admiration. Mary Jane will be coming back in Spider-Man Homecoming, and we imagine it'll be awesome. Sara Lance and Nyssa Al Ghul. In the DC TV show Arrow, Sara Lance finds herself on the brink of starvation when Nyssa Al Ghul, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, saves her. Sara then began to train with Nyssa to become part of the League of Shadows, and during this process, she and Nyssa also started a very intimate relationship. Unfortunately, their relationship was as complicated as it was steamy, due to Nyssa's father being who he is. Even after they parted ways, Sara and Nyssa still have love for each other, and are willing to put themselves at serious risk in the name of protecting each other. The superhero world is flooded with male-female relationships, so it was a nice change to see an LGBT couple featured so prominently on the show. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. These two heroes now both have their own Marvel Netflix series, and from the early hints of their relationship, it's going to be a good one. Both physically strong but emotionally weak, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage connect through sex and alcohol. When Luke and Jessica have their first encounter, it's purely a one-night stand with no feelings involved. But once their friendship progresses, Jessica finds herself opening up more to him, and Luke wants to protect her as much as he can. The two are so powerful and messed up that they end up trying to hurt and save one another multiple times throughout their relationship. If the show follows the same storylines as the comics, we may get to see Luke and Jessica actually get hitched and have a little super baby of their own. Vision and Scarlet Witch. This couple is the classic case of two people being very different, but for some reason being attracted to each other all the time. For starters, Vision is a robot, and Scarlet Witch is absolutely not. Vision's artificial intelligence was based on the brain of Wonder Man, who had a bit of a thing for Scarlet Witch himself back in the day. In other words, he's sort of programmed to be in love with her. What's more is that Scarlet's brother Quicksilver is very much not a fan of his sister being with a robot, and has been very open with his feelings. Forbidden love is a common theme in storytelling, and that's probably because it makes for such interesting couples. Cyclops and Emma Frost. Although Cyclops, aka Scott Summers, has most famously been paired with Jean Grey in the comics and movies, he's more recently been coupled with Emma Frost. Jean Grey might be a fiery redhead, but Summers' relationship with the cool and sexy Emma Frost is actually much hotter. For starters, Jean Grey often dies and leaves Scott alone, and there's also the ongoing complication of the love triangle with Wolverine. The relationship between Emma Frost and Cyclops is more fun and undeniably sexy, even though she's somewhat of a lunatic. January Jones didn't do a very good job with the character in the 2011 film, but hopefully she's not gone for good. Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. When you're talking about attractive superheroes, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman has to be at the top of the list. Not only is she absolutely stunning to look at, but she is a total badass with what looks to be a great solo movie on the way. One aspect of the movie that fans don't know too much about yet is her relationship with Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine. The trailers haven't given too much detail, but it looks like their relationship will be very important. When you have two great-looking movie stars like that paired together, all you can hope for is great on-screen chemistry that you can sit back and enjoy. Robin/Nightwing and Starfire. This romance began in Teen Titans issue number 2, when these two overly hormonal teens met while Nightwing, then Robin, the boy wonder, was lying flat on his back, and Starfire, the golden-skinned alien beauty, began sucking on his face like it was a scuba mouthpiece. In later comics, it was revealed that she was actually absorbing his language through physical contact, and this was the most enjoyable way to do it, for the both of them. When people first read this comic, it may have taken them by surprise, and made them begin to question whether or not this is really how love works. While we don't suggest random face sucking, we'll just have to call this relationship a tale of love at first sight. Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Wait, don't you mean Harley Quinn and the Joker? Although that couple could be considered hot, however dysfunctional it may be, it's definitely one that most people already know about. What fans might not know is that Harley and Deadshot have actually been romantically involved in the comics for years, through little flings and flirtatious encounters. News has surfaced that there was actually plans to set this romance up in the Suicide Squad movie, but the plans were finally scrapped. We think this would have been awesome to see, as Will Smith and Margot Robbie were the best parts of that movie, and they've already shown off their on-screen chemistry in the con artist film Focus. So there's our list of 10 super hot superhero and villain couples that you may not have known about. Which one of these is your favorite? Who do you think is the hottest superhero of all time? Let us know in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos like this one.